But I disagree with some of that, because if you're a good worker, like if Jake Roberts is physically able to wrestle right now, I know he can't, but a few years ago he could, if he was sober.
Okay.
He could still work a match with the people who, even if they didn't know who he was, and I'm using Jake, but I know people know who he is, he could still get the crowd to cheer for him or be involved in the match. Jerry Lawler's another guy that could do the same thing.
Right.
And he's doing even less than Jake.
But here's the difference. Alex, I agree. Like, listen, I'll go to a Jerry Lawler match now and I'll be I fucking love Jerry Lawler. Again,
I hate to bring up this name. Bobby Fulton.
It's your favorite.
Worked for us, a year and a half ago?
Yeah.
And the crowd probably didn't know who the fuck he was. They didn't. Because number one, he never wrestled up here.
Right.
And a lot of our crowd is younger. But they were still into him. Why? Because he knows how to work the crowd.
They're wrestling fans. They enjoy wrestling. I'm not talking
That's
about...
who comes to wrestling shows. Fans.
But it's not. Look at PWG. The majority of that crowd is not wrestling fans. The people who buy... Dude, do you think Topanga and fucking Sofia Vergara are wrestling fans? No, it's the cool thing to do. When you make something cool, people show up to it. Again, that's the attitude. The Attitude Era was popular because it was fucking cool. You had an Austin shirt. You had an NWO shirt. It was fucking cool. It was the cool thing to do. DX, it was cool. So people jumped into people who were not wrestling fans, which is why you can get away with ding ding, lock up, ding ding. Because no one gave a fuck about the wrestling. They wanted to see Mae Young give birth to a hand. They did not give a flying fuck. It wasn't about the wrestling. And that's, again, PWG, it's the experience going this way. Going to the show, seeing the ridiculous high spots, seeing the athleticism. It's like fucking weird competitive Cirque du Soleil, if that makes sense to anybody. Yeah, Juba said, I went to a monster truck rally once. I'm not a monster truck fan. The majority of Warriors wrestling fans are wrestling fans, whether they're kids or casual fans, the hardcore, they're wrestling fans. That's why they would go to an indie show. My fiance goes to an indie show, or was going to them because of me. And eventually started to really enjoy it. But again, I put on fucking the old British stuff and she can't stand it. I love that. I fucking worship fucking Jimmy Breaks and fucking Rollable Rock, bad motherfucker.
I agree with Lee on that one.
What?
I probably won't get into it either.
Dude, you gotta check out Rollable Rock. That was a bad motherfucker.
Well, you're a big Japanese fan. I'm not. You're not a big Lucha Libre fan. I prefer that.
No, I love Lucha Libre. Love Lucha Libre. It's, again, there's different flavors of ice cream. There's different, ways to appreciate art. But I think my point being is that there are a lot of fucking wrestlers and a lot of promoters and a lot of fans who are all so stuck in with this idea of, that golden era. Oh, and guys, they don't get it anymore. And it's like, well, no, it's not for you. Wrestling it's like fucking music. Think about that. Do you think all the fucking people who fucking shit on Elvis, is it because Elvis was shit? No, it's because music wasn't made for them. Music was made for that generation, by that generation. And I think that we're at a point now where wrestling is being made for a specific group of people, by a specific group of people, in different fucking ways, shapes, and forms. Chikara is definitely not Joe's thing. I fucking love it. And there are a lot of people who do because they have a fucking market there. Joe just said it. He's not a fan of Japanese wrestling. Fucking Wrestle Kingdom fucking filled that fucking arena up. Whatever, man. That's how that shit works. You can't... My point is you can appreciate it and you should appreciate it, even if it's not your thing. Joe's a huge Kiss fan. Huge Kiss fan. I call them the Jewish clowns. They're totally not my thing. But I can appreciate the fact that they are his thing. They're a lot of people's thing.
Now, I don't go around saying, oh my God, Kiss is the greatest musicians. I wouldn't compare them to Dream Theater.
He 100% does.
Which way?
Straightforward.
But
I'm letting you people know
they're great
all the time.
They're great entertainers.
Right, but that's wrestling. Fucking some people are great wrestlers, some people are great entertainers, some people are both. You can appreciate what you appreciate. So all these fucking people on the internet who, again, all have an opinion because it's the internet. Straightforward. Could like and enjoy what they like, but again, don't shit on what somebody else enjoys. Just recognize it's not for you. Juba says, Doctor of Love, Joey B.
No, I don't like that Kiss song.
Of course you don't.
It's just like Enter Sandman with Metallica. You just got so sick of it after a while,
Joe's too busy listening to Lick It Up!
No.
Lick It Up!
No.
Oh!
That's maybe Kevin Knight's listening to that.
Ugh.
No.
That's some real
I
dude.
mean, I like Lick It Up, but I don't prefer it.
First left you make. Yeah, Not everybody likes death matches, and I'm one of those sadomasochistic. Yeah, again, if there's a market for it, if you are a businessman, which a lot of people, promoting wrestling are, you should understand if there's a market for something, you should.
See, with me with death matches is this hardcore matches I like. One of my favorite matches of all time. It's probably passé now. Not really. It was a street fight, not a hardcore match. But some of these death matches, they're just doing stuff just to do it, and there's like no rhyme or reason or no story with it. I'm just like,
again, it's not being made for you. It's being made for the people who enjoy no rhyme or reason violence,
No.
which is cool. I saw a dude fucking take fish hooks to the face yesterday in a death match. And I asked a buddy of mine who's a fucking deathmatch wrestler, I go, how do you fucking gimmick that? And he's like, you don't. It just sucks. So there you go. That's that. You're in a bike lane, Joe. Huh.
When the streets like this, it's like,
Well, again, I'll leave the only message that I'll push in is, fucking like what you like, appreciate what you appreciate, and don't shit on other people for what they fucking like. Unless it's fucking shit.
but SWF.
Less said the better. I think that I honestly think that company exists at this point purely off of the press that you and Nasta fucking give it. It's the fucking truth. I never hear anybody ever, dude. I fucking have friends in wrestling.
Buzz about that company.
Yeah, there's a buzz going on somewhere. How do you deal with the thumbtacks? You pull them out one at a time. It ain't fun. No, it's the fucking truth.
Jake does the thumbtack matches. I make sure I buy extra long thumbtacks.
Joe doesn't fucking spend a dime on anything that I fucking do. Cheap person right here.
Those tables, yeah.
Heads up. So I was gonna say, fucking, now I lost my train of thought because Joe had to hop in with the fucking thumbtack shit. Feh.
Talking about SWF.
Right. Point being is that I've never heard anybody in professional wrestling, anybody at all, ever bring that fucking company up. Except for you and Nasta. Literally. Nobody would know or care what that company is if you and Nasta did not make a fucking big deal out of it. You're feeding into this horseshit, and it's fucking ridiculous. But I digress, because it has nothing to do with anything. And that should be it. We're almost finished up with this. So let's do the sign off here and check it out. You can check out Warriors of Wrestling, WOW Pro Wrestling on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. You can check us out on YouTube, WOW TV Live. We've got a whole bunch of stuff coming up. New match to be posted next week, I'm sure. And then we've got the WOW studio tapings, Day as a Warrior, coming up next weekend. Usually upload a match from the show. We're having a match this weekend. So usually next week you have a matchup. That's usually how things go. Anyway, check me out on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram at King of Chaos NYC. Check us out this weekend. Warriors of Wrestling in Staten Island. Tommy Dreamer versus Jason Karloff in our main event. Joe, anything else to say?
No.
Of course. Take care, everybody.